excited to talk about this today because this is one of those things that it is what it is when it comes to success. There is a price to pay for everything in your life. Everything, okay? And what I mean by that is if you are going to go after being the best at what you want to do, going after your vision, doesn't matter what it is, anything, there's going to be a price that you're going to have to pay. It just doesn't happen, okay? When you channel your energy into one thing and one thing only, other things are going to have to take a back seat. All right, so what that means is price to pay means that when you focus and put your attention towards one thing, other things will sacrifice, right? Take a back seat. It's just the way it is, okay? Look at any successful person. Could be athlete, CEO, could be a movie star. All right, think about people like The Rock. Okay, could be someone like, I'll say, because everyone knows who, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, people like that, okay? Or it could be a musician, like a rock star, okay? Think about anyone that is uber successful, right? There's a price that they had to pay to get to where they are, all right? If you want to be someone like Tom Brady, well, Tom Brady isn't going out and hanging with the guys all the time. He just isn't. He might sometimes, but that's just how his life is. His life is structured around him being the best at what he does, okay? And that means that he's like, training all the time, his nutrition's on, he has a team around him that supports him, that keeps him laser focused on what he has to do. He's studying film, he's doing what he has to do, okay? At The Rock, for instance, that guy works around the clock. He doesn't take breaks. He's the highest paid actor for a reason. He's just going. It's like the Energizer Bunny commercial, right? He just goes, doesn't stop. The Rock is where he is because of the work that he puts in. There's a price to pay. He can't do all the things that everyone else does, but he's living a life that no one else is living. Does that make sense? Okay, so when you choose yourself, okay, you won't do what others do, but you will live a life that others won't. Okay? There's a price to pay for that. And people don't really discuss that. Okay? Everyone thinks that you can have balance of this, and this. And I'm all for balance with some things, but unfortunately, when you strive to be the best at what you want to do, if you want to be great, if you want to be different than everyone else, I think David Goggins says uncommon among uncommon people, well then that's another level, right? And to get to that next level, unfortunately, balance gets thrown out the window because you're so laser beam focused on what you have to do. All right. Now, when it comes to balance with things, I still feel that you need to have balance, like with your health and with spirituality and your emotional and mindset and all that stuff. All those things have to align. I'm a huge advocate of that. Just because I'm laser beam focused on doing all these videos and putting out great content for you of value doesn't mean that I put everything else on the back burner as far as my health. Health is still my number one value. You still have to have your values, right? So still have to make decisions around your values and vision. All right? Your story supports this. Support this. Also, your story to others, to yourself, right? And the story that you tell others, all right? So you have to have the values and the vision. Even though you have such laser beam focus and you're doing what you have to do, totally understand it, but that doesn't mean that the values and everything else go out the window, right? You still got to get you have to stay healthy. You can't just work, not take vacations, not do things like that. I'm not an advocate of that. I understand that there's another level where people are just so hardcore that they're working 20 hours a day and all this stuff. I get it. I totally understand that. Okay? And I'm one for hard work. Don't get me wrong. But just because you're working hard doesn't mean you let other things slide. That doesn't mean that gives you an excuse to eat junk food, to go out and friggin', get hammered all the time or do drugs all the time or do all these things that are not advantageous for you to get to where you want to be. Yeah, can you still do it? Sure, there's a lot of people that bust their ass, that go out partying all the time, but guess what? That will catch up. I don't know any successful person that goes out and parties like a rock star all the time and can maintain that and build huge success and not pay the price. You will pay the price, all right? There's a price to pay for everything, right? But there's also a price to play too, all right? And if you want to play, well, that's going to come back and bite you in the ass. I don't know anyone who's uber successful that just goes out there and rips it up all the time and totally gets annihilated all the time for, it will catch up, okay? It does. We've seen it all the time. We've seen rock stars who go out and rip it up all the time, and next thing you know, they're in rehab 2, 3, 4, 5 times, right? Or they lose it all. We all know these stories, okay? And I try to tell my son this all the time, that find me someone who's uber successful, or find me success stories of people that can do drugs, alcohol, partying, all this stuff all the time. Where's your focus going? Maybe you might be able to pull that off for a little while, but just imagine where you could be if you cut all that shit out, cut all the distractions out, and you really focused on what you want to do, your game, choosing yourself. Amazing things could happen. People that got to here could have gone to the moon and beyond, okay? There's some good people out there that have done some amazing things that if they really cut out the distractions and stuff, holy shit, they could really put a dent in this world, okay? So it's one of those things I try to explain to my son. Yeah, if you want to do all that stuff, it's your choice, it's your prerogative. What I'm saying is, I don't feel that it can help you get to where you want to be. That's all. If something's helping you get to your vision, by all means, all right? But that's why I try to keep a high performance lifestyle of, health and fitness and sleep and all these things, mindset, soul set, all these things. I combine them all to live a certain way to help me be the best that I can be, right? Tom Brady does what he does. Why? So that he can be the best at what he does. The Rock stays on his game. Why? So that he can go 20 hours a day or whatever he does. I mean, he's in the gym at like 4 in the morning, for crying out loud. Like he gets it. He goes out and he gets it. There's a reason. Okay? There's a reason why The Rock is where he is. Okay? He does what he has to do to get to where he wants to be. All right? And that's living a life that no one else is living, because he's putting himself in a position to do that. All right? And I don't see him going out there and ripping it up all the time and thinking he's going to still be the best of the best. It just doesn't work out. All right? He's got everything down to a T. His nutrition, his working out, his sleep, everything. Right? He's living a high performance lifestyle so that he can get out there and impact the people that he wants to impact, right? He constantly evolves, he inspires, he's inspired by bigger things, he inspires people to be bigger, and he impacts a lot of people, okay? There's a great person to model, just an awesome guy who just goes out there and he kicks ass, and he helps a lot of people, every day of his life. That's someone that I look up to. All right, and that's, people like that, that's leading without a title, okay? And that's what this is all about. Being an alpha leader is leading without a title and getting out there and just living your life, choosing you. People like The Rock and Michael Jordan and LeBron and all these guys chose themselves, okay? They didn't sit on the sidelines. They weren't just watching TV and dreaming about what they wanted to be. They went out and became who they are because they chose themselves and they took action every fucking day. All right? So there's a price to pay. When you focus, put your attention towards one thing, other things have to take a back seat. It's just the way it is. When you focus on what you got to do, it's a sacrifice, okay? In some things, you're not going to be able to do many things, okay? So sometimes you're going to have to miss certain events, going out with buddies, doing whatever. But at the end of the day, you will look back and say, wow, that was worth it. Living your life to the fullest was worth it, okay? Cutting out all the bullshit was worth it. All right, look at any successful person, athlete, CEO, movie star, it doesn't matter. When you choose yourself, you won't do what others do, but you will live a life that others won't. That's just the way it is. You're going to have things that others don't have because first, they don't believe in themselves, okay? They don't believe that they can be this person or that person because they've been a spectator the whole time. Okay? They don't believe in themselves, number one, and they've never chosen themselves. You're different. You do believe in yourself, and you are choosing yourself as of right now. Or maybe you already have, but now it's time to step it up even more. Right? So, still have to make decisions around your values and vision. No matter how driven and focused you are, you still have to base decisions around your values, right? And your story supports this. The story that you tell yourself, the story that you tell others. All right? It's huge, just the way it is. All right, I hope you got some value out of this, at least something that you can apply to your life today, right now, okay? Like I've said a million times, knowledge is useless if you don't go out there and apply some of these things, all right? It's just how it is, okay? So get out there, take action.